To the show. Back to the show.
Yeah,
It's been, May 30, 2016 was the last time you were on.
Really?
I was a little skinnier and...
I don't think so. I was actually about to tell you the opposite, that you
Really?
look a little bit more...
I've been working out a little bit. I try to run a mile a day.
Whoa.
3 times a day. 3 times a day, 3 times a week.
Whoa.
So, and then just try to keep it up. I'm 30 already. I turned 31 in a couple months. You. And I feel everything. Is that a true story for you?
Right,
I mean, you being like
dude.
an active, but you're more active than me. I'm sure you work out 2-3 times a day.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and pull the mic down so I can see your face, because it looks like I'm talking to there you go.
That's cool.
Yeah. But just make sure you're talking into the side instead of
this
the
guy.
Yeah. There you go. That's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably work out right now I'm averaging 2.5-3 times a day. Yeah.
Yeah. And what does that look like for you?
All different depending on what I can fit in and what Steve-O has planned for me. But
is this a year-round thing, or is it more of only when you're in camp?
I train 6 days a week year-round for the most part. Yeah, I never really. I mean, unless I've got something going on, life gets in the way. But that's my game plan. Yeah, and the only thing that changes really is my diet and the intensity of my training.
So how intense is it right now? About a week out, right? A week and a half out?
Yeah, I'm about a week and a half out. I fight on 21st. And today was probably my last day of super intense training. I didn't do any heavy lifting with Steve-O, but I trained 6 a.m. this morning with him, and I did we did all ESD, which I know he explained to you as energy system development. And that's just where we're trying to get my heart rate up to where it'll be for the fight and just keep it there, because a lot of times, you get that sprint and you think you're good, but can you hold that sprint? And I got to hold that kind of a pace for up to 15 minutes.
Right.
So.
But how do you manage it when... So there's training, right? And you're trying to manage that sort of pace, that high pace, but then how do you add stress to the situation or mental stress? The mental game is a whole other topic. Last I talked to you, I was just barely dabbling in meditation, and I've been more consistent and persistent with that, and that's definitely paid off. But as far as physically preparing for that 15 minutes, Steve-O will do I'll give you, for instance, today at Paradise upstairs in the turf, they've got a lot of cool things and functional movement
exactly
exercises,
functional movement, and they got a lot of cool toys up there that Steve-O uses to torture my husband and I with. So for instance, this morning we do our regular warm-up, which is a lot of moving stretches. And then what did we do? Kettlebell swings. So we start off with 25 kettlebell swings, then we go into 15 ball slams, the weighted medicine ball. We slam it 15 times. Then he puts that little elastic thing around our waist, and we look pretty freaking crazy. Where Paradise is, that has that hallway, and there's all of the treadmills downstairs.
Okay. We
have to sprawl and single leg with that little elastic band. He looks like he's walking a crazy pit bull. And we have to do that down the aisle and back. So it was actually really funny, because now I'm doing extra sessions with him.
A lot of explosive exercises, huh?
Very explosive, yeah. So that answers your question, right? How he replicates the fight by having me do that real high intensity stuff, but continuous. This is all back to back. And after we do that sprawl to single leg down and back with the elastic band, then my favorite part, we lay down on the mat and he holds us down, replicating if someone were ground and pounding, right? Without the ground and pound. So he holds us down by our shoulder, and we have to get up. We have to get out of there. And that's something new that he is using to
sounds like an old school technique. Sounds like
it's very old school.
Someone holding Brian down.
I can really think. I think I have a video I'll show you. But so then the last part of that workout is he holds us down, and so that was just the first part. We do those 4 things 3 times. And then we do like more ESD, which is like that high intensity training. He'll have us do like high knees, sprawls to teeps, replicating, like timing my opponent coming up off the mat.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just realized I did it with Mike's phone earlier. That's okay.
That's all right. Wait, hold on. We jumped right into the future right now. And we totally missed 2 years of what's been going on with you. You mentioned husband, you're now married.
Yeah,
And it's been about a year?
Yes, we just celebrated our 1 year in April.
Oh.
April 22nd. We got married on Earth Day.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And then you just had a bunch of new like growing experience, a lot of milestones in your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple.
I signed with Invicta, which was really cool. Really, that has been such an awesome experience.
Right. I bet.
Yeah. Going to that first fight with Invicta was like, I gotta say, it was like a little vacay.
What was like leading up to it? Were you expecting? Did you already know that it was coming, or was it something that you just weren't really expecting? Because when was the last PXC fight before that happened?
Oh man, I actually got caught off guard. You're right.
Right.
So actually, I was doing another interview a couple of weeks ago with Kumite Radio, who's a MMA radio, and when he asked me this question, I was more than a little bit caught off guard. He was like, "You took 2 years off. What were you doing during that time?" And I was like, "Took 2 years off?" I was like, "When did that happen?" Because like I said, training never stops for me.
Right.
But as far
PXC,
as
right, or like fighting, right?
Yes.
The PXC hasn't been around for at least a year.
Yeah. So I guess 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my last fight for PXC was with Kate De Silva. That was an amazing fight. And since then, they haven't done, I think they're either done or, not doing anything at the moment. So I didn't get any calls from them. And like I said, I just continued doing my thing.
But were you like afraid that, something wasn't going to come around, or were you shopping around to different leagues, right? Because they got different fight leagues all over the world.
Yeah. So I actually had a couple really cool offers. Of course, everybody wants to make it to the main stage, right? So I had, I didn't physically have the contract in front of me, but I had offers from UFC to step in last minute and to step in at 115. So,
man,
that was a big decision for me.
You fight at 125. I kind of imagine 10 more. Trying to drop 10 more pounds to.
Yeah, at 125, it looks kind of. Yeah, I'm only 125 for like weigh-in.
You're pretty shredded when the weigh-ins come, right?
Right.
And then you fight at what, 140?
Probably like 130, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, put on the 130, 135,
10
somewhere
pounds
between there, yeah.
Okay.
So they did ask me, and a lot of like really cool opponents. Of course, UFC is already where they've filtered out a lot of the amateur Joes, so Janes, I should say.
Janes, yeah.
So the opponents that they were offering me, I think it was like 2 or 3 offers, and I was like very, very tempting, but I'm really lucky, and I'm so grateful for my coach and my husband, and also Steve-O, being honest with me and just telling me like it is. So they really helped me to understand that if I am gonna go to the big stage and I'm gonna pursue this there, then I want to put my best foot forward,
right? And
I want to feel good going into
even though you've been training already and stuff like that.
Yeah, 115 I would be.
Oh yeah, that's right, 115.
Yeah, at 115.
Okay, back in 115, right?
Yeah, so at 115 I would be like kind of like you said, emaciated already, like not feeling it.
Rolling you on a wheelchair up to the weigh-ins, like Brogan Sanchez, like I'm here.
Yeah. And I've seen that firsthand, and I can't picture myself doing that to myself. I wouldn't feel confident.
Right.
I wouldn't feel I wouldn't be putting my best foot
forward.
forward.
But you'd feel pretty comfortable going up a weight class, right?
135 is big, girls, but it would feel more comfortable than 115 for sure.
Yeah.
Because the people in 135 are coming down from like 160.
Oh shit.
So if you think about it, like I'm 140, I'm fighting 125, and I'm close to like 135, 140 come fight day. So those people that are cutting from 155, 160, they weigh in at 135, and then boom, you know, they get that back on, and I wouldn't mind it, but I think a big learning lesson for me is to not go out of that zone. Like, do what's best for you as an athlete. So I'm glad that I had
not by any means necessary,
right, exactly,
more calculated,
exactly.
Well, you're an older, like now you're an older, more mature mentally fighter, right? Not necessarily physically, but mentally. If you were 22-year-old, you probably were like, shoot, let's see if we can push 115.
So
right?
True. It's so true. And you know, before I met Coach Berto, I was like that. Like, and that's just part of being young and being hungry. You know, I don't judge anybody for doing that, but I would like.
It's all about being that age, though, right? Anything you can get, you're gonna still pull in.
Yeah.
We thought it happened in our teens, but really, the real shit happens in your 20s.
True. It's so
where
true.
you make the biggest mistakes sometimes, or you know, the best decisions.
Yeah. Right? And you either learn or you don't.
Right.
So that's the important part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that Coach Berto was able to sit me down and be like, hey, you could do this. And if you decide to do this, I'm right there behind you and I'll support you. But I want you to think about what it means to really put the best you can in that cage, you know? And so with the help of him and Mike, and also my manager, Lloyd, I turned it down. And at the time I was like kind of bummed. Yeah. Of course, right? But then right after that happened, it was like a sign, like a miracle. That's when they opened the 125 division. And for USC.
Shit, that was so long ago. Okay. Yeah.
So that was in that 2-year gap that I was, you know, not competing. And I wasn't competing in MMA, but I was doing a lot of things in jiu-jitsu. That's when I got my brown belt. And
you medaled in
Asian Open? Did I medal? I think so.
Pros?
I don't know. I went to Asian Open.
Okay.
I don't even remember how I did.
Okay.
I was purple. And I know I was a purple belt. And, I did. So I medaled in my division, and then I even went to APSO, but I lost my absolute match. And then that night I got my brown belt, which was like a major milestone. Like, I really wasn't expecting that.
How long were you sitting at a purple belt?
Purple belt, probably like 2.5, maybe 3 years.
Yeah, but consistently training, right?
Every day.
Every single day.
Yeah. And when we opened up in Cliff Hotel is when we started doing the breakfast, lunch, dinner classes. So Purebred offers a 6 a.m. class, an 11:30 class.
Shameless plug. Go ahead.
Dude, for real. 6 a.m. classes, you guys. Like, before your day even starts, just go there, get it out of the way. And like, people's biggest thing to me is like, they're so intimidated, right? When I say just try it, like, they're so intimidated. But if you are intimidated, just go and watch, and you will see that it's probably not what you're picturing in your head. Yeah. Like, we work techniques, we drill, we lift each other up. The environment there is just amazing. But yeah, shameless plug, 6 a.m., 11:30. And then they got their classes in the evening time. So
yeah, so it kept you busy throughout those couple years. Mainly jiu-jitsu, or were you trying to focus on other disciplines? What else do you sort of specialize in? Is it mainly jiu-jitsu and stand-up?
I teach Muay Thai at Purebred, so that's what I would say I specialize in. And then we got our judo program going there with Sensei Gen, and Eric Cian teaches the no-gi class. So I've got all those disciplines going for me. I really got the best of the best when it comes to like my instructors. So and we just promoted 11 new black belts, 11 black belts, maybe like a month ago. So I mean, to me, all those people were already like black belts in my eyes. Right. Those are the people that I learn from and go to with my questions. But to see them all make that transition was like amazing. I cry every time. Like, I bawled when my husband got his black belt. And of course, Coach Berto invited the whole family, and usually he tells the family, you know, if you're, so that way they can be there for the promotion without telling the student. Well, of course he didn't tell me, because I would have probably ruined the surprise or something. So it was such a big surprise for me when Mike got his black belt, and I just cried like a big baby. I even cried when I got my brown belt. What is
it that you think causes that such emotion? Yeah, one of my really good friends just got his blue belt, and he said he cried. He cried, yeah.
Man, it's just, it's not so much the progression, it's everything that belt symbolizes. Like so much.
Everything that culminated to that moment.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And when I got my brown belt, it really made me realize how much of a team sport this is. Even though when you step onto the mat for competition, or you step into the cage, you step in there alone. There's no way that I could be at the level I am without my team. So
yeah, for sure.
it makes me, I guess in the simplest sense, it makes you feel like you're part of something bigger than yourself. And that's very, very fulfilling.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting thing that it would bring. Yeah, it would bring so much emotional, and it does make sense. I've rode on the mats a couple times, and it's a very grueling.
Yeah.
It's very testing.
Yeah.
Especially in those times when you feel like you're drowning, right?
I think that's what it is. It's the other side of that. So when you're pushed into those positions and you feel like you're drowning, you feel like you're suffocating, but then you don't, and you survive. Yeah. And you're like, hey, if I could do that, what else can I do? What else am I capable of?
Right.
And it's our teammates that help us to realize that. So
right.
That's why it's so emotional.
Do you think it becomes less about the I don't want to say technique, but more mental aspect of what the belt represents as you go up? Yeah,
I do. Technique, of course, it's I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, of course your technique is important, and of course that's why I phrased it to where I was like trying not to say like technique doesn't matter. I get what you're saying. So it's like Coach Berto said this once, it's all of your techniques is literally just one grain of sand on the beach of what jiu-jitsu is. Like, jiu-jitsu is so much more. And I think that's why it's so emotional for us. Like, you find out so much about yourself and what you're capable of. And having that support system, it really helps you to never settle for less than what you're capable of. And I think that's where all of that emotion comes from. Yeah, it's a wild ride, but I'm so grateful for it. When I got my brown belt, my husband was like, "Man, babe, we were in Tokyo, and we were at the team dinner. When I got my promotion, I got promoted with my friend Ray Paul Jordan, and
yeah, I know Ray Paul. I used to play in a band with Ray Paul. What's up, Ray Paul?
He's the man, dude. No, so Ray Bro and I have been on this journey together ever since, and like he's one of the guys that I could say has really, really, really influenced my life on the mat, off the mat. This guy will let me drill on him, like drill a technique 100 times and not bat an eyelash. Some people are like, who's got time for that? This guy has time to sharpen help other people sharpen the blade. And so I try and pay that forward to him and everyone else on my team too. My friend Tracy and I she messaged me last night, but I didn't get to this morning, but she was kind of reflecting on how far we've come and just everything we've been through as a team. And it's really cool. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We got through the jiu-jitsu. Oh yeah. Yeah. So you were mentioning that you got a couple offers within those 2 years. So what else were you like turning down or trying to, and why continue to turn down stuff before you decided, okay, Invicta is what I want to do?
Well, Invicta, they hadn't made the offer yet, so that's why USC sounded so tempting. But when Invicta made the offer, it opened a lot of doors for me because, like I said, PXC was not existent at the time, and I was ready, like so ready, just itching to compete. And Invicta's been around for a long time. They've got a lot of really amazing.
And that's the only all-women's fight league, right? MMA league?
So. Yeah. And so they had a 125 division. They're established. They've got, just like in UFC, they've got the best of the best there. Like when I did my first fight, I fought with Sarah Kaufman, who's like, dude, I was so starstruck seeing she was the main card. I was just so starstruck being able to train with her and also just level with her as a martial artist. Like, she is so cool. Her and her coach were so cool. I was lucky enough that Mike and we were up at some weird hour because of the time difference at the hotel, and they have at the hotel we were staying at, they have a whole room. It's like a ballroom, and they laid out mats for, you know, just whatever you want to do. And it was like late night, and Mike and I were there, and her coach were there too. And so we shared the mat, and we talked with them, and they were just such cool people. After they did this crazy killer workout, they were just like laying there playing some trivia game with each other, and it was like so cool, so awesome to see that from them. And then also like starstruck with Sarah Kaufman, but also when Mike and I landed in Kansas City after, man, a lot of traveling, right, from Guam to Kansas City.
Right. That's over a day.
Yeah, it was like 24 hours of traveling, and I forget which way we went that time, but that was in January. And when we got in to Kansas City in January, we were like smacked upside the head with how cold it was. Like we went to Colorado for training, and that was awesome, but this was a whole other kind of cold.
Yeah.
Like in your bones cold, in your face cold. And so we touched down. So fun. This is so typical of me too. We got in, picked our bags up. We went outside, and the Invicta shuttle was waiting for us. And we got in the back seat, and there were two other women in there in the like middle seat. And Mike and I went in the back, instantly passed out. Like, I don't know why we slept on the plane, but just that traveling really wears you out. So we slept until we got to the hotel, and I can hear the conversation that was going on, and I can hear their accent, right? Like one of them sounded kind of Brazilian, and another one sounded American. And I was just like, something in the back of my head was telling me like something, right?
Yeah.
And when we pull
this is someone?
Yes.
Yeah.
When we pull up to the hotel, and there's actually light because it was nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Amanda Nunez and her wife were in the shuttle with us on the whole way. And Mike and I are back there sleeping.
You guys are nonchalantly just like, what's up, Manda?
Oh my God.
Start calling her Manda.
Yeah.
Some Nunez.
Yeah, right? I was like, I can't believe. And now I'm like, okay, now I know I made it to the big league. And I told her when I got off the out of the shuttle, I was like, man, can I get a picture with you? I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was you, and I'm just so starstruck right now. And I was like, can I get a picture? And she was so cool. She's like, heck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. What was your feeling when they first contacted you that, okay, now it's time?
For Invicta?
Yeah.
I was just stoked, man.
Because, yeah, I mean, 2 years off.
Uh-huh.
Not really doing anything, not really in, like, that's ring rust right there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. A lot of people said that, and a lot of people predicted that. But you know what? Like I said, in those 2 years, I know it's easy to picture me like chilling on the couch for 2 years.
Yeah.
I really honed in on my physical, like I always do, just raising that bar, and also my mental aspect. I knew that I needed to take it to another level, especially when this fight's gonna be, it's not like PXC where it's just here in the Pacific or whatever.
Right.
Like you couldn't even find a PXC fight of mine right now if you try it on YouTube or whatever.
Right,
you wouldn't be able to watch it.
Right.
But this is like on UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah. On Fight Pass in HD.
Yeah, there's people watching all around the world, so that changes your mental game a little bit. So I knew that if I was gonna make it to the big leagues, that I would have to zero in on that mental game.
Yeah.
And so I've really been working that with my meditation. Like I think when you were talking to Steve-O, he was telling you he low-key trains a monk.
No. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Crap, I can't even remember for the
Paradise.
Life of me.
He trains with one of the people that I go to my meditation group, and we all meditate together. And he's actually off island right now. He does retreats in like Thailand and all over. So I'm sorry, not Thailand, Taiwan and all over. So he's gone for the summer, every summer. And so right now my practice is kind of like solo, and I like that. But when he gets back on island, we all just meet up again, and it's also a really awesome environment to meditate together.
What do you do to meditate?
It's like there's different ways that you can do it, but my practice is like it's something very personal, but I think for the most part, like just to give you an idea, what I first do, and I try and do this like at minimum 20 minutes a day, And if I can just do it for 2 minutes, then that's great too. I try not to judge it like like I do with my training. Like I have to do this.
Yeah.
So just the process itself, and it's always different, but I sit down, get comfortable. I even bought myself this really nice little meditation pillow because I was like, if I'm gonna be committed, this is gonna do it. This
I better spend some money on this.
You know how it is.
Not gonna make this go to waste. $60 pillow go to waste.
You know it.
Yeah.
So and that's actually really helped too, because when I first started meditating for like anything over like 30 minutes, your legs really start to hurt. My knees, my hips were really bothering me, and my back. So the pillows helped me to be able to sit longer and physically withstand that. So I get comfortable, and the first thing I do is I count to 10, breathe in on 1, out on 2, and I do that all the way to 10. So 1, 2, all the way till 10. And if I need to do that again, I do. But once I kind of calm my body down, I pick one thought, one thing. And like I said, it's kind of personal. Like I have mantras and stuff, and a lot of time I like to just focus on one mantra.
Right.
And then I just say it in my head. I have some visualizations that I do. Like I said, it's personal, and then the whole basis behind the practice that I do is bringing your mind back to that. So it's like mind training. So if I'm focusing, like my favorite mantra right now is I take personal responsibility for my results, and I commit to being a positive force. And so
you repeat that.
Yeah. And I really think on it, and I bring my mind back to that thought. And, those are my own words. That's something that I made, and I hold close to my heart. And it's something that I want on my mind all the time.
Right.
So what I'm doing is just training my thoughts to come back to that. Because a lot of times we let our emotions carry our thoughts off to wherever they please.
For sure.
Like I'm hungry, so I'm going to think about what I'm going to eat. And then I've got to do this. And there's always that like idea of urgency. Like I've got to do this. So now I've got to focus on this and think of this. And now I got to do this. So I got to think of, but instead of directing your mind by your urges or your impulses or your urgent, busy work, I just try and keep my mantra at the center of my life. And it's really done wonders for me, because once you can, obviously bringing your mind back to something positive is a good thing, but once you flex that muscle and made it strong, you can bring that to whatever you want.
For sure.
So like the last few weeks, I sit, and after I do those few breaths where I calm my body, then I get my mind to kind of follow suit. And I don't know if this is really advised with the particular practice that I do, but I go through, this is a different type of meditation.
Yeah.
So like I said, there's lots of different.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like because I do some sort of meditation when I go and walk my dog. And I call it like active, just sort of active meditation / reflection. And it's like, I'm not talking to my dog, and I try to do it like super early in the morning, like 5 a.m., 5:30, 6, before the sun comes up.
It's a great way to start.
Yeah, and it's really quiet, and it's like really to myself. Yeah. And I get not sort of lost in my own mind, but I'm able to realign everything that sort of was scrambled along the way, on the walk. By the time I'm done with my walk, I'm like, oh shit. Like I use that time to either solve a problem that I have, sort of search for a solution that I may have, or something that I need to take care of the day and sort of align myself for that day. Yeah,
absolutely. Like when people say I meditate, that's like saying I play sports. Right. It's like, well, what sport?
Right.
So there's lots of different types of meditation, and over the last few weeks, I've been spending a lot of time sitting and visualizing how I want my fight to go.
Really, just finding your center, huh?
Yeah. And like you said you lose yourself, right? So like when I sit for long times, like over an hour, you don't feel your body anymore, and it's not even on your mind.
You ever tried the float tank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually Limestone is one of my sponsors.
Right. Okay.
And I love to meditate in there. And even like after the float tank, meditating after is so much easier for me.
Ask Brian about the.
You like to chill in there, Brian?
No, we didn't get to use the float tank, but we used we did the salt cave.
Oh yeah, I like the salt cave.
And everybody, dude, everybody that said what it was like 20 minutes when we came out, and everybody that we saw, they're like, dude, you guys just wake up or like you just take a shower? Dude, we were just like, so like I don't know, how do you explain it? How would you explain we were feeling refreshed? Dude, yeah, it was like refreshing, and we didn't even realize we were in that cave for like 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Easy.
Yeah, easily. Yep. And it just went by the end. I think the Himalayan salt was starting to get to us, and
it works wonders too,
and the
guys.
Oxygen and the
oxygen therapy.
Yeah, the oxygen therapy was starting to get to us. we were laying on the salt on those yoga mats. We were laying on the salt. On
He's
the
got
on
a
the
really
ground.
cool vibe going on.
Yeah, really good vibe. Really good vibe. I dig it. And then we got to sit in the foot soak.
I was just about to tell you guys, if you haven't done that, do that, because if you think that you feel comatose after the salt cave, that foot soak, whoo, I was like, after that I was like, should I call my husband to pick me up? Like, I don't know if I should drive right now. It feels so good, and after hard training, man, or even just your mind like all day going every which way, that is just so relaxing, so fulfilling. I love it. I love the salt cave.
Yeah. I mean, you
guys gotta try the float tank for sure.
Yeah, so when we were gonna try it, it was down. Right, there was something wrong with the pump or the piping or something like that. And I know it was in like recent months that it was actually back up, right?
And they upgraded it. It used to have 800 pounds of the salt in there, and now it's got like 1,000 pounds. Crazy, right? Yeah. So when you're in there, I've never been to like super high concentration salt. Like they say it's like that at the Dead Sea and stuff like that. They're super buoyant in the water, but it's such a weird experience. Like, you're laying in the water, and for the most part, when you lay in the pool or in the ocean, most of your body is submerged. Well, in the float tank, you're like, a lot of your body is out of the water, and it's just a weird feeling.
It's almost like gelatinous.
What's that?
Like it's like you're laying on Jello.
Yes, it's like that. It's like that, like zero gravity. It's so cool, and it's just such a relief on your muscles. Like, at first, I kind of have trouble relaxing. Like, I can feel a lot of twitching. But
I'm gonna text Khalil right now.
Yeah, text him and Jerica. They are so awesome, man. They really they've upped my recovery game. Like, as hard as I train, they've helped me to recover, just as intensely.
Yeah, I didn't mean to disrupt you. You were talking about the experience in the tank.
Yeah. I love how it makes your body feel, because afterwards, meditating is really easy. Like, now that I've been working seriously with my meditation for like over 2 years, since before I talked to you, right? So, the biggest problem that I have now isn't calming down my mind. It's like calming down my body. Like I said, I get a lot of twitching, and my hips or my knees will bother me if I sit for like super long. Yeah,
me, I was just bending down, tying these wires together on my back. I was like, oh man, my back, my quads, my knee.
That's awesome.
Like, oh shit.
I mean, that's life. That's real talk. Like, keeping it real. It means you're using this vessel of yours correctly. I would hate for, everybody says that they would hate for on their deathbed to be like, I should have done this, I should have done that. So it's a sign that you're using this body.
Yeah, I want to use it as much, because I also want to be like a very active 70-year-old
older
man.
person. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I've met like really built 75, 80-year-old men. I'm just like, damn.
You should see some people walking around Paradise. Like, there's this lady, Mary. I don't know her last name, but her name is Mary. Holy crap, man. Like, if I can look like this woman, and I don't even know how old she is, but I mean, obviously she's up there. She is just like this little bulb she's like sunshine in the gym, like, and you can tell it's because she stayed active, you know, and she's just
Probably takes care of her body.
really takes
eats
care
well.
of herself, man. I want to be that.
Yeah.
I want to be like Mary.
What does your diet look like?
Yeah, and so I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing my Fit for You Guam shirt.
Okay.
This sponsor has changed the game for me. Fit for You Guam is just recently got on board with me for this fight. So this is my first time working with them.
So like with the fight camp, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be doing after this fight. I mean, you're going to see me at Mosa's for sure, but I don't know if I'm going to keep up my regimen that I am right now. But the thing that I love so much about Fit for You Guam is I don't have to worry about anything. Like, they've saved so much time and stress, and those two things alone changed the game for me. Like,
how much time before did you spend on food prep?
Oh my God. Like, time and energy, like
going to the grocery, going to Kashiles.
Yes.
Cooking the food.
And if I can't make it to Kashiles, I go to Payless. And you know, when you leave Payless, you got 2 bags of groceries, but somehow you spent like $50-$60. And you're like, how the heck did I spend this much and I only have 2 bags of groceries? And like, you know, eating healthy can be expensive.
Oh yeah.
And
eating healthy is definitely heavy on the wallet, especially here on Guam.
Yeah. I mean, if you, there's ways around it. There's ways that you can go around it. But honestly, Fit for You Guam is the way to go, because I don't need to spend hours. And you know what? The great thing is, if I were meal prepping for myself, I would try and do it for the whole week. So on Sunday, when I have time, when I have downtime, which is actually supposed to be when I'm relaxing, I'm at home. I got the skillet out. I've got like full of chicken breast, and you know, section it out, weigh it out, because when it comes down to fight camp, I weigh out my food, and, just to, like I said, Steve-O's got it down to a science. So I weigh out my chicken breast, I weigh out my rice or quinoa, and then I weigh out my veggies and oatmeal, etc. Spend so much time chopping up veggies for salad or grilling and then preparing it. And so
basically a whole Sunday.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. And then time in between too, you know, like, and that's not getting fresh food. That's cooking it all on Sunday. And then like by the time Friday, Saturday rolls around, you're like, I don't even want to eat that. I cooked that on Sunday. I don't want to eat that. so
because it's all the same meal every single day, Monday,
oh my
or breakfast, lunch, dinner, Monday through Saturday.
Right. That gets old. And that's simply like me trying to keep it simple. Like,
Yeah.
I could get crazy and all like,
Yeah.
you know, Emerald Lagasse on it, but I don't, because it's extra energy and extra time.
For sure.
So I just kept it simple.
Greg Monk was saying that he eats, he was eating chicken breasts and potatoes for 5 months straight.
I get so tired of it, dude. I get so tired of it. And so
that's not that's not the ideal nutrition plan that any
No.
athlete wants to go
No.
through, right? In a more like the meal prep, but eating the same stuff over and over again.
Honestly, eating the same stuff over and over again, I was having problems with, I'm anemic, so I have iron deficiency.
Okay.
And I was having problems with low iron, which it gives you all kinds of problems. First and foremost, like low energy, like you just feel drained.
For sure.
And eating the same foods, you're lacking vitamins, like plain and simple. You know, if you're eating chicken, broccoli, rice, like, yeah, broccoli has certain vitamins, but then what about everything else? Like they say, eat the rainbow, right? That's what you want to do, so you can have the variety of vitamins and nutrients from everything. So with Fit for You Guam, like I haven't seen like a menu. The way that it works for me is they give me food, on Wednesdays and Sundays are my pickup days, and they give me three of one meal and 3 of another meal, right? So like, for example, one meal I had just before this was I had pasta with like chicken with like sauteed onions and red bell pepper. And then my other meal, my favorite meal, is they give you steak with sweet potato and some other vegetable. I forget what, but sweet potato was the carb, and then so it's usually like a protein, a vegetable, and a carb.
Yeah.
And so you get your meals, and you can mix it up between those two. And then, like, let's say there was something that I didn't like I love sweet potato, but I like it fried.
Yeah.
So I wasn't digging the sweet potato, so I just let them know. I just WhatsApp them and WhatsApp the team at Fit for You Guam. Hey, I wasn't really feeling the sweet potato, or I wasn't feeling this, and they switch it up.
Right.
Yeah. And all of every single meal that I get, I don't have to worry about, oh, I can only eat this much of it, or oh, I can only. This was made for me, weighed out and everything, and they communicate directly with Steve-O. So I know when you talk to him, he's like, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not certified, but dude knows what he's talking about.
He knows when you're eating shit, right?
Yeah, dude knows what he's talking about. Like, he's so freaking modest.
So I mean that helps though. That helps that, you know, the nutritionist is communicating with the trainer.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes you won't find that sort of communication, right?
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to crunch numbers. I just know that it's my food and I eat it.
Yeah, Fit for You just got that free plug.
Yeah, dude, no, I really have to.
I hope you guys enjoyed that Fit for You.
Like I said, time is everything, you guys. Your time is so precious.
For sure. And
so them saving me this much time and stress has just really been a blessing.
Yeah, between your first camp and this camp, right?
Yeah, it's night and day difference.
Okay.
Yeah, I get to focus more on training. And
being a fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, being the best mixed martial artist I can be.
What now are you able to implement into your fight camp now that you have a nutritionist? Like, what aspects now are you able to focus on in your fight game, or is it more mental? Is it a bunch of physical workouts?
I have more time.
Disciplinary.
Mm-hmm. I have more time for physical workouts because I'm not spending so much time on food preparation. But also I have time to just like live my life, like spend time with my husband. Mm-hmm. You know, like I said, we're a year in, so we're still newlyweds, and we ain't sick of each other yet. So we spend a lot of time, even, you know, and of course we train together, but we're also into cars, and he likes to race, I like to race, and that's like one of our favorite things to do. So
really,
yeah.
How long you guys been doing that?
Well, he's been into it ever since we met, but for our honeymoon we did all kinds of stuff. We did training, but we went to this
we did a shitload of stuff.
We trained. But we also
did a shitload of training.
We also did some racing. So we were in we went to Seattle to visit his cousin at the end of our trip, and we stayed with his cousin and his girlfriend, and they're super hospitable. I love those guys. But we stayed with them, and next to where they stay in Seattle, there's a school called Dirtfish Rally School. Mm-hmm. If you want to look that up, you can. It's pretty freaking cool. So Mike and I did the training there. We both have Subarus, and we did
for regular cars, daily cars. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Mike's is a daily race car. His is the fastest Subaru on Guam.
Wow.
Yeah, like people literally stop me, and not to be like, oh, you're broken.
Does it go
like? Yes, it does. Paul Walker status, this guy. This guy doesn't even get this. This guy does not have aircon. He does not have power steering. He doesn't have a back seat, Will. And most of the time, he doesn't even have a passenger seat.
Is that a rally car style?
Weight reduction. Okay. All about that weight reduction.
Right. So, ready for that Italian job, right?
Yeah. So, man, for the Dirtfish Rally School that we went to, it's like they teach you how to drive rally cars, and they have rallied out Subarus, and the track is mostly dirt, and it's so much fun on that terrain, like getting used to accelerating into the turn, and we got.
Whew. Let's pull it up. I want to see. I want to see what it is. I want to see some rally car videos.
It was such an amazing experience. Like, dude, talk about adrenaline. Like, people.
God, sponsors love you. Do they sponsor you?
No, they should.
They should sponsor me.
Dirtfish, you should sponsor me. And we were also celebrating Mike's birthday while he was out there. So I did like a beginner's course.
A twofer.
Yeah, I did like a beginner's type course, but Mike's been, dude, this guy's been racing since, you know, he's been racing since before he got his license.
Okay.
So, yeah. So for him, he did the whole day like more advanced course. And I brought in like a little birthday cake for him, and so yeah, this is the track. And you get in the car and you've got like full on headgear and everything so that you can hear your instructor who's in the passenger seat. And they teach you how to we'll see if we have my instructor here, but I got a really cool guy, and they just help you with your turns and help you to control the vehicle. It's pretty amazing, dude.
Goes to some racing. Fast forward to some racing.
I mean, look at these cars. Like, I love my car. My car's beautiful, but this is a real rally.
So you have
car.
you have a Subaru too?
Yeah, I have an
Impreza?
STI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mike and I both have an STI. Lift.
So this guy's like.
And what I love about it is they don't tell you to slow down.
Yeah.
Like, they want you to
They want
push
you to-
it.
They want you
And
to
that's what the
pedal
cars
to
are
the
made
metal.
for. Yeah, it's so much fun. So this is like the warm-up course that you go on, and you just do like a bunch of donuts.
But this guy's talking to you the whole time?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's drifting, huh?
Yeah, it's a drift school, so they teach you how to. And like I said, on that terrain, it's so much fun.
Do they have anything? Fast forward. See what's. No, you could just fast forward through the video. See what's there. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Try the part 2. I should have brought. Mike and I have some. We took our GoPro.
Some of your videos.
Yeah, I should have brought. But oh yeah, this is the wedge. So this is like the more advanced course. I got to try this out too.
Damn, that looks so much fun.
It is so much fun if you ever get the opportunity. So yeah, there's like this big turn, right? They have you pick up as much speed as humanly possible before you take this turn. It's so much fun. And like you can see, there's nothing around for you to like hit. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
run
fuck
over
the
a
cone. Just run over the cone.
But making the adjustments too is so much fun. Like seeing your progression and like seeing how you can better control your vehicle is so much fun.
Right. And I bet you these cars have really good control. Huh?
Yeah, amazing. All the Subarus
All-wheel
are-
drive.
Yeah,
They're all all-wheel drive.
Yeah. That's why you see a lot of
you
these.
can kill it.
Yeah, that's why you see a lot of the Subarus in like cold places, because the all-wheel drive does really well in like snow and stuff.
I see.
We also went to WBM, which is, oh shit, what does that even stand for? But it's like a big Subi meet. Subi Fest, they
Subi
call
Fest.
it. Yeah, and with all the Subaru
With the
and-
Subi nerds.
Yes, with all of, we felt right at home. And of course, we were like all geeked out, bought shirts, bought parts, bought all kinds of fun stuff for the car. But like I said, we felt right at home. It was so much fun. It was good. So that's one of the things that we do with our free, our extra time.
Yeah, your free time.
Yeah.
And is there a lot of races that happen here, like just casually?
No.
Or do you guys go to the Friday night meetups in Agana?
We do go to Paseo.
What is it? What is it?
It's a video
Of
Mike.
Oh.
Oh man,
Okay.
let's watch it.
You want to watch it? Yeah, let's watch it.
it.
Got it. All right. Okay. All right.
So yeah, we go to Paseo.
Oh, okay. So you guys are the part of the Friday night crew,
Yeah.
making all the noise on Friday night.
No, we're quiet. But yeah, that's him. So, and then we go to
That's a
Jigo.
Subaru.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then we go to Jigo and we check out these races too, the drags.
Killer Subi.
Look at that Hilux.
The Toyota Hilux. This is over at the. I've never actually watched one at the
What? You
Jigo
have
Raceway.
to go.
No.
You have to go.
I've always wanted to watch a NASCAR
Dude, that would be
NASCAR
awesome.
race.
Yeah.
I heard the energy just of the cars passing by
Oh my
you.
God, it rattles you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to look late start and just smoke some.
Late start. He was probably like scratching his nose, like, oh shit. Yeah, smoker. Go to try that again. Damn. Yeah. I just want to see how he takes off.
I wonder who posted this.
How's the audio? Louder?
He's like checking his phone, like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
trying to get his song on, right? Trying to play the Fast and Furious soundtrack.
Where's that Paul Walker song?
That's awesome.
All love.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fucking badass.
Yeah,
Damn, I didn't know you guys were like deep into that.
pretty much.
And so that's how you mostly spend your that's what sort of you getting nutritionist has freed up your time.
Yeah, just time to live life, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Do you travel much?
We haven't lately. I guess we went back to Cali in March. We visited my family, and my best friend got married, and I was in the wedding. It was kind of a short trip. I think it was just like a week, because we had school and we had all kinds of stuff to get back to. But I could not miss my best friend getting married. So
Yeah.
we went out there, had a great time. Yeah, that was in March. And what else did we do? Yeah, we don't plan on. Oh, okay. I'm such a liar. So we're traveling again. After my fight next week,
Where's this fight at?
still in Kansas City.
Okay.
So a lot of the Invicta is based out of Kansas City.
Do they fly you out there? Or you have to. Okay.
Yeah, they fly Mike and I, and that's why I said it was honestly like saying it was a great experience is such an understatement. Like they fly Mike and I out. Luckily, Coach Berto is a pass rider, so he was able to just come out and meet us. They put us up in a nice hotel. Like it's called Hotel Phillips, and that's the nicest hotel I've ever stayed in. And they're like known for their cheesecake and room service, and it was amazing. And Mike was just
Barkeep.
That's Mike. That was Mike the whole time. Like it was, like I said, the weather was crap. So he's just sitting on this like plush bed. Like he's talking about the bed already this week. He's like, I can't wait to sleep in that bed. It's so nice. And so he's like chilling, watching TV, ordering room service, and we're right next to right next to everything in Kansas City. Like there's a Whole Foods store right there, so I can get everything that I need to stay on weight. He can get fried chicken by the pound. Like they have all that like hot and ready
Boston Market.
Pretty much,
dude. Oh my gosh, Boston Market is one of my. B, you ever have Boston Market? Next time you go to the States, B, you got to go to Boston Market.
Yep, get their mac and cheese.
God, I think everything there. Even that sweet potato with the marshmallow on it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it's called. Right.
It's so good. But
dude, their Caesar salads are really good, but their
100%.
chicken is so fucking good. Dude, I was able to eat a half chicken to myself. For
no shame.
No shame.
How
dude.
proud.
Yeah. Half chicken, half Caesar salad, and then the sweet potato marshmallow thing.
I love that. That's good, man. Yeah. So
And you walk up, you don't even have to order. You literally it's like a window. Just be like
that.
Get that.
No,
one.
more of that.
Yeah.
More of that.
Yeah. It's basically what I used to indulge in that just by myself. Surprisingly, I'm not like 800 pounds right now. Because I used to do some bad things by myself, just grab a bunch of food and just sit down in front of my coffee table and just eat. I came back to Guam 145 pounds, right?
That's heavy for you?
That's super light. Right now I sit like at a 170, 175, but within a year I gained 45 pounds.
Welcome to Guam.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I miss Guam so much. So I gained that 45 pounds, and I was just I felt gross. You know what I mean? Oh my god, it's like hard to walk up the stairs. Putting my knees hurting so young. Like damn, I'm only 24. Fuck me, hurting.
Stress on the joints. That's funny, dude. Yeah.
Boston Market. How did we get there? Phillips Hotel.
Yeah, we were talking about the whole experience.
Yeah.
For Mike, it's like a little mini vacay. Of course, he's responsible for helping me cut weight and everything, and I couldn't have done it without him.
Keeping you disciplined.
Yeah, exactly. While he eats his fried chicken and cheesecake. He's like, eat that spinach.
Yeah. That looks gross, but eat it.
Exactly. Help me to cut weight and everything. But man, the whole experience is amazing. I didn't even anticipate it being as good as it was.
Yeah.
Like when I showed up,
being a new fighter too, right?
Exactly. The whole crew, of Invicta, the staff, they're amazing. They're so sweet, so welcoming. If you need anything, let us know.
Yeah.
And the way that they set up everything is so professional. So like Mike and I were on like the 7th floor or something, and then on the 5th floor is, like I said, that open mat space where you can fight. The martial artists can use that whatever they want for whatever reason, whatever hour. And then on like the different floor, they had where weigh-ins was, or where you can go to ask any questions. And then there were these 2 really nice guys. I'm going to have to remember their names, but 2 super sweet guys that were our drivers. And just let them know when and where you want to go.
Yeah.
And they'll take you. You want to go shopping at Target or wherever you want to go, they'll take you. And they told us also that they're taking as their treat, like Invicta's treat, they pay to have somebody do your hair, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is. It's such a big deal. Like, you can't have your hair in your face. Does it matter? It does.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, I know ponytail just doesn't fly, right?
Yeah. No, it doesn't. And I'm not like.
Just get the boy cut, Brogan.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Just Demi Moore your head.
I love my hair. As annoying as it can be, I love it. So they have this really nice lady come up to your room and do your hair, and she was like super professional, super awesome. We got into this really cool conversation. She was like, so what do you know about Kansas City? She's like, I know you weren't able to try the barbecue, right? And I was like, no, not yet. And I will though. And she's like, yeah, you got to try. She was like telling me all the places to go. She's like, what do you know about Kansas City? And I was like, I know
the Chiefs. Oh, sorry.
No, other direction with that. I was going. One of my favorite artists is Tech Nine.
Okay.
Like, dude, Kansas City. They always sing about Kansas City. So, and then of course she was a fan too. So we're like, Mike comes up from getting his Chipotle. I'm getting my hair done, and we're like bumping Tech Nine.
So what's your style? What's your hairstyle? Your preferred.
I don't have a preference, but last time I just go on Pinterest and I'm like, I want that. So last time does it matter if it's like really tight or if it's that's
you
a good
need
question.
more braid?
That's a good question. I like braids because I know it's gonna stay. It doesn't have to be super tight, but
cornrows.
Cornrows, yeah. I mean, I don't even know if a cornrow is the same thing as a braid. I think it is.
Might be.
I don't know.
You want to see cornrow? Check. Let's see if a cornrow is the same as a braid.
I don't know, but I got last time. Yeah, I got like 4 braids, and then she kind of like did a crisscross in the back, kind of cool. But yeah, I just showed her a picture, like, hey, this is what I want. And she's like, yeah, I could do that. Yeah. So this time I'm gonna try and throw her for a loop. I'm gonna be like, can you do this? Yeah. This is cool. I want this.
Can you do crop circles? Yeah. Can you put my hair in the shape of a sling stone?
You're right, killing me in the back. Oh yeah, she was really cool, and that whole experience was amazing. Like, I didn't have to worry about anything except for getting in there and
doing the job, right?
Yeah. And my opponent was amazing. Like, they did a great job of matching us up. It was a super, like.
Is it? No, you don't have to turn it on. Just tell us.
Is it the same?
No.
It's different.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Can you want to read it to us?
So I guess I haven't got cornrows.
Yeah, just read it.
So the main difference is Dutch braids and cornrows is in the weaving. It's with braids you cross your strands under while holding the hair up.
Oh.
And then
it's the same. This is a different kind of braid.
Yeah.
So
you don't know what you're talking about, Google.
So a cornrow is not a braid.
It's not. That's what it's saying.
Huh.
Because of the way
they cross, I guess.
Okay.
Interesting.
I haven't got cornrows.
Wait, so a braid goes from the top down, right?
Yeah.
And then the cornrow goes from the scalp out. So
I guess my braid goes from from here down.
Because they say, B, you need to talk into the mic so I can kind of hear you. So they're saying that there's hair under. We're getting into the braid situation.
I know, right? Well,
here.
for Dutch, I know for sure because I know how to Dutch braid.
Yeah,
Dutch braid.
Read it one more time, bro.
The main difference between Dutch braids and cornrows is in the weaving. With Dutch braids, you cross your strands under while holding the hair up at an angle to create a bit of height, and you often pull apart the braid at the end. But with the cornrow, it doesn't say anything about cornrows. It says it's different, but it doesn't.
It doesn't really say
it's
why.
different, but we don't have to explain why.
But yeah, it doesn't have to be super tight as long as I know it's not going to be coming out. It's not going to be in my face. And I'm a happy camper, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides the baby hairs, right? That'll eventually like come out.
Those don't.
Or the ripped hairs.
I'm over that.
Yeah.
I'm over that. Mine in jiu-jitsu, sometimes if it's get up and get out of this position and rip a little bit of my hair out, then I'm getting up. Like,
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
You can only like try and save your hair so much, and technique over everything. So
How do you feel going into the second fight as compared to your first fight now?
I feel great. I always like have this this like wave of good vibes leading up to my fight, and it just builds and builds and builds and builds. So I'm riding that wave right now, and I feel like I've done a lot more preparation, because every time I step in there, I need to step it up. Not for, of course, I'm getting bigger and better opponents, and that's a whole other conversation. But
Yeah. From the world, right?
yeah, I mean, Invicta's given me 2 undefeated fighters. And Sherry Maraski, my last fight, she was black belt. And I fought a lot of black belts before. My fight before that, Kate Da Silva was a black belt. Before that was Emiko Reika, who was like a boxing champion of Japan. Before that was Gabby Romero, who, interestingly enough, I think she was a brown belt when I fought her, but she's now a black belt, and she's beat some of the big names in jiu-jitsu in like no-gi tournaments. And she has also fought Miranda Maverick, who's my upcoming opponent. And Miranda Maverick beat her as well. So Miranda is 3-0, a lot younger than me. I think she's 21, 22. And giving me 2 undefeated opponents means so much to me.
Just pull it to where you're talking to the side, yeah.
It means so much to me. Like, for one, it shows that they take me seriously. And for 2, I'm the kind of martial artist where I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my sponsor's time. I don't want to waste my husband's time, my corner's time. Like, a lot of work and love and tears and blood and sweat go into every fight camp. So for me to take a fight against an opponent who I know I can beat, that would bother me. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night with that.
Why is that?
Because the whole purpose of this is to evolve, is to test yourself, not just in competition, but even in training. Like, I want to beat the best of the best. To be the best, you have to beat the best. You can't just beat, like, I'm not going to name names, but I was watching a UFC embedded, and it was a fighter who I really look up to.
Yeah.
And he or she, it's going to be really obvious. He or she said, I'm taking this fight because I know I can beat her. And I was like, man, I hope she didn't mean that.
I know, you said her too.
I was like, I hope something was lost in translation. I hope she didn't mean that. Because as a mixed martial artist, you don't just want to go off there and knowing that you can win. Like, where's the challenge in that? Where's the growth and evolution in that? So for me, it's not a mature mentality of how to fight or of how to evolve yourself as a fighter. Yeah, not in my opinion. And it's weird because I know that, like, I didn't expect that. Yeah, I know she's not like that in other realms of her life, so I didn't expect that, hearing that from her, and I was like, man, like, what a letdown. That could be in the moment kind of thing, maybe. Like, people can possibly say things when the camera now shines in your face, right? Yeah, that's so true too. That's so true. Yeah. It's like, so how do you feel? It's like, yeah. I can beat him. Yeah, I can relate to that. That's so true. That's so true. But yeah, in my opinion, give me the best you got. And then when I have that win, it's going to mean all that. It's going to mean so much more than beating someone that going in there, you could beat them. Yeah. This girl's tough. She's tough. And if I beat her, that's a feat. That's a win for me and a win for my team. Right. And so I take that seriously. I take that super seriously. And I'm glad that Invicta takes me seriously. Yeah, especially because now you're becoming a more mature fighter, right? I think so. I like that. I mean, the wins and losses do matter. They do, big time. Yeah. Yeah. And I always use this quote. I said this in my last interview, but Brian Ebersol, who I got to work with, he's old UFC fighter, and I got to work with him while I was in Thailand. He was one of the instructors. Him and Roger Huerta were one of the instructors awarding the scholarship that I was trying out for. And I don't know if he said this in the camp or if I just read it somewhere that he said this, but he said, wins and losses are a dime a dozen. And if you want to be great, you need both. And it's so true. Like, I don't know if I'm ready for a loss yet. I'm not trying to foreshadow anything, but or jinx anything, but you do need both. You need, like my coach always says, you need to be the hammer and the nail. You can't just be the hammer, because then what happens when somebody puts you in a position where you're the nail?
I mean, yeah, look at Ronda Rousey, right?
Yeah.
You know, she dominated the world, and
she fell apart with a little bit of adversity,
and then she lost again, and it was just like
give up.
Basically.
Yeah. And you know, it's sad because so many, I mean, I'm not in her position, so I can't say that I would have done this or I would have done that. I can't say that, but
it's almost like, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's so many little girls and boys too looking up to her,
right?
And so when you are faced with challenges and you are faced with adversity, which all of us are, that's the time to pick it up,
to really shine, right?
Yeah, not when everything's going good. It's easy to be good when everything's going your way,
right?
But when things aren't going your way, that's the time to pick it up and to push.
Yeah, just like Francis Ngannou fought this weekend, right?
Yeah.
And he was like a different complete. You watch that fight?
I didn't watch it yet.
Didn't?
No.
Oh God, you have to watch it.
I'm gonna watch after this.
It was well, I don't think you have to buy the pay-per-view, or it'll come out like in a month or two on Fight Pass.
On Fight Pass.
Dude, he was like he wasn't, you know how he's just this banger, just like this specimen of a human being, where he's destroying everybody, all his opponents. He wanted nothing. Else. Yeah. He wanted no contact. He was staying so far out of the pocket. And I think his total strikes was 11. Yeah. He had 11 total strikes. That's how much he landed.
Wow. But see, that's what I mean. Like,
and who did he challenge again? Derek Lewis. The Beast, the Black Beast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what that is.
Right.
Man, yeah. To do all that work that a training camp requires, to go in there and just.
Yeah, but if you're not there mentally.
Yeah, I mean, that's
before
a huge
you walk out. I mean, you can look ready. You can be physically ready, but once your mental game gets stepped on.
Yeah.
And it can come in different forms, right?
Yes, absolutely. Like I've battled with that. Like right now. Through this fight camp, I've had a lot of friends who are dealing with stuff and family who are dealing with stuff, and I'm the kind of person where even though I'm that shoulder to lean on, like it takes a lot of energy for me to I guess not effort to support my friends, but energy.
No, it does.
Like to be a support.
It truly does. Yeah. It truly does to sort of even be there for a lot of people.
Yeah, because you feel for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just be careful, because you can spread yourself thin. Yeah. And a lot of people who spend all their time taking care of other people or worrying about the
filling everyone else's
feelings
cup.
Or the emotions of everybody, they leave none for themselves. Yeah. And oftentimes than not, it leads down a treacherous road.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, thankfully you fucking meditate, right?
Yeah, it's a big part of that, man. Right. Such a big part. And to fill everybody else's cup up, I just had a conversation with my friend Tiffany before this, and this is the advice she gave me. She said, to fill everyone else's cup up like you want to, like I know you want to, you got to keep yours full. You got to keep refilling yours, and that's, dude, such an important thing to think about. Like, if you want to be good emotional support for your friends, then you have to make sure that you're in a place to do that. And I can catch myself, and maybe I should credit meditation to that, but I can catch myself when I'm going off that path, when I'm feeling that weight of being a support system. And I also hate the feeling of feeling that, like, I'm like, man, I'm so selfish, like trying to focus on my fight because I put all this work and training into it, and I just want to be in the right mental state to make this happen.
Yeah, and I guess that's the double-edged sword of
It is.
being such a soul. It's like, yeah, you want to focus on yourself, but yeah, you want to help everybody out or be there, be the shoulder to cry on, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes people have to accept that, even though that, sure, in the past that you were the shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
They have to also accept that you have a mission.
Yeah,
right?
well, that and the tables are gonna turn, right? I'm gonna need emotional support one day, so that's why I have to stay strong. And I've got all kinds of things going on in my life now, so it's just a balancing act.
Yeah.
And meditation has really played a big part in that. To feel like it helps me to feel present.
Yeah.
A big surprise to me, you know what a big surprise to me was, when I went in my last match in Invicta in January against Sherry, my husband kept looking at me like days up, hours up, into minutes up into my fight, like waiting for the nerves to set in.
Right.
And he would
like, can you grab me some water, dude? Please?
He would look at me and he's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." You know, and it never hit me.
Thank you, bro.
I just waiting for it to hit me, waiting for those nerves to kick in and be in survival mode, like, reaction mode.
Not even butterflies or
nothing. And I have to attribute that to meditation, because that's, like I said, I set out a goal to focus on that and to really try my best to be in the present moment, no matter where I am or what I'm doing. And he just kept looking at me like, how about now? Are you nervous? How about now? Like, it's okay if you are, babe. Talk to me. You know, he's trying to get me to open up to him.
To get you to break if you need breaking, right?
Exactly. You know, and he's that rock for me when I'm getting ready. So.
Oh, man, that's interesting.
Yeah. So he was just kind of, and I think.
Are you very stoic when you're in concentration?
No, and I think that's why. Yeah, I'm not stoic. I'm really open with my emotions, and especially with my husband. So he was. I think he was concerned that I wasn't getting those nerves. And so he was just trying to get it out of me, like, "Oh, tell me how you're feeling," that kind of a thing.
It's okay to go throw up if you need to go throw up right now.
And so, like, even right before the match, we're hitting pants, and he's like, "Are you sure you're okay?" And I was like, "Yes, babe, like, stop asking, I'm fine." I felt good. Like I said, I was still riding that wave.
Sounds like my girlfriend.
Right?
You stop asking if I'm okay. Don't I look okay? Don't I look okay?
I'm fine. So I was still riding that, like, positive vibe wave all the way in. And I said, "Don't worry, babe. When they shut me in there in that cage, it'll come on." It never came. Those nerves never came. Like, this last fight was the first time I had my wits about me. And thank God, because it was a close match. And if I didn't have that mental edge.
Straight to decision,
Yeah, my first decision ever. Or my first split decision. Even in my amateur career, I never had a split decision. So if I didn't have that mental edge and that my wits about me, I would have lost that fight for sure. And it was the most technical fight I've been in, as far as like wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Like, if it's a technical stand-up fight on my part, like I've had before, like with Emiko, we were just like standing and banging. I felt comfortable though. But if I would have stepped into the ring, the same martial artist who fought Emiko, and I would have stepped in there with Sherry, I would have got my ass handed to me, because I wouldn't have been prepared. I wouldn't have been responding. I would have been reacting. And whenever I go to when I visit schools and I speak to kids, and mostly middle school, high school, I like to have that talk with them, being responsive as opposed to reactionary. That's a big part of being a martial artist, having control of your actions. And I think we talked a lot about this at our last one.
Yeah, we did.
It's such a big part of being a martial artist. Like, with great power comes great responsibility. So if you have...
Even a superhero, apparently.
If you have the ability to really hurt someone if you wanted to, and you're reckless with it, then you're not a martial artist. It's such a big part of it, you know? Like, I have a long fuse. Like, it takes there's certain things that push my buttons and make me angry, but nothing that I would like act on or hurt somebody on, or because of.
Well, your patience is thick.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah. And it helps with all my relationships.
Yeah, I'm sure that attributes to how you take care of your mind every day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I have to give credit to my meditation practice for what happened to me that last fight. When they closed the cage on me, I was anticipating. I'm like, okay, here it comes the fight or flight, which is it gonna be? And you don't know, you don't get to pick,
Yeah.
It's just, it happens. So
you didn't get the tingles down to your extremities, and
not so
I mean your first like real big stage fight, right?
And that's why I anticipated it, but it never came. I was
like you were
focused
born
on
ready.
what I had to do. Yeah, I was really focused on what I had to do. I could hear in my corner very clearly, and Mike and Coach Berto did a great job of studying Sherry and knowing what she was going to throw at me. Like the wrist control, the underhook, everything that she threw at me, I was prepared for.
Yeah.
And so Mike already had a response ready for me. Like, when she throws the underhook, you got to get wrist control. This is how you do the reverse. This is what we're going to do after that. And so it's like a chain of stuff a chain reaction that I had practiced over and over and over and over again. So when I was put in those difficult positions that Mike and Coach Berto predicted she would put me in, it was like second nature. It was like a video game, and they were playing, and I was just doing what they said to do. Like they're pressing the buttons, and I'm doing it.
I was thinking earlier, like when you said the whole meditation came in, I was thinking like you transcended out of your body, and you were playing the video game from the top.
No, I was in it for once. It's the opposite. I was in it. A lot of times you can when you're in there, like I said, you can let it take over, and there's a very very delicate balance between letting your training take over and letting your brain, your mind, like analyze things as they're happening.
So it's almost like your mind trusting that your body will react the way it's supposed to.
That's the key word right there, is trust. Like Coach Berto was messaging me the other day, and he was saying, last fight and in training and in your last fight, you tested your cardio. And he said, now I want you to trust your cardio. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, wise words.
Yeah. And he always says stuff like that I'm just like, okay, you're right. He's always right. He's a very, very smart guy. I'm glad to have him in my corner. But like he said, you tested your cardio. You took it in training, and in that last fight, you took it to the max. You took it to where it's never been before. But now you got to trust that it's going to be there, and you got to do what you know you got to do.
So cardio should be the very last thing that you're worried about.
Exactly.
When it comes to mental game.
So like sometimes like I said, I was really analytical in that last fight. So I think he could tell that I was reserving my energy, because that underhook battle that we had.
But even just thinking too much can be exhausting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because
it can.
Because maybe you're thinking of throwing something. But then,
or what you're gonna do next.
Right.
And then something happens, and you gotta scratch that.
Right.
It's very, very high pace, very intense. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I actually want to keep going into like the whole sort of improving the whole thing, right? You got to just you said you're preparing yourself you're thinking about throwing something, but something else comes at you, so you have to sort of scratch and go another route.
Yeah.
You know, it's what happening within milliseconds.
Definitely. And like I said, it was a battle for underhooks. Like when you have the underhooks, for the most part, you have control. If my partner has the underhook here and she can start to go like this, then my base is compromised. So we were both, for a lot of the 15 minutes, we were both just battling for that underhook, because she's black belt, she's really smart, and she knew a lot about controlling the fight. And so what I was thinking was, I need to do damage.
But she was much older.
She's older, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe she was worried about how her cardio.
I mean, her cardio felt good to me.
And so, but if she can control the fight,
she was,
right?
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Then she can sort of pace what...
Her game plan was obvious. Don't let her... She knew that I was going to let my hands fly. So she was tying me up. And if she wasn't able to do that, then it would have gone very differently. So that was her game plan, was tie her up, take her down, that kind of a thing. But I was prepared for that, like I said. So, I realized that I needed to do damage. Like, she was doing a lot of control, and I reversed it on the cage a couple times, but I knew if I didn't do some damage, then I wouldn't have won the fight. And I knew too that if she kept me tied up, then I wouldn't be able to do damage.
Right.
So I was able to like sneak in a lot of those staple elbows and knees. Like, clinch is second nature to me already, and I love the clinch. So her tying me up opened that door for me to work my clinch. So thank God. And then my takedown defense was very strong, very confident. And so she had a hard time taking me down. I think she did take me down, though, once or twice. But I also got a takedown of my own at the very end, and I took the back. Maybe that sealed the deal for some of the judges. I don't know. But I knew it was close. And I knew that I had to...
what were you feeling at the final bell?
Frustration. I wasn't even thinking, did I win? I wasn't even thinking that. I wasn't thinking I lost, but I also wasn't thinking, did I win? I was walking back to my corner after the third round, like, I need to work on my wrestling. Like, I was looking at coach, like, this needs to happen. I need to do this. And that's just how I am.
Matrix my ass and upload wrestling into my brain.
Do it.
Yeah.
And then I was working on it before then too, but I met somebody in there who was very versed in wrestling and in cage control. So I'm glad that I was able to survive and to come out with the W, but it was close. It was tough. It was a tough match.
So what have you done as far as like the wrestling aspect? Have you?
Yeah, this girl's a wrestler too.
So that's something that you've relied heavy on, or
yeah,
at least in camp.
In camp, I worked a lot of transitions from, like if they fail, if they fail a takedown, I've been working a lot of submissions from there. So I won't get too specific, but
yeah. Give us your whole game plan, Brogan.
You want to know something funny? Almost guarantee she's gonna be listening. This chick has been creeping, and I know hard feelings. I respect and love all my opponents, but this chick has been creeping on every single post, story, feed, everything, like live feed. I'm like, I see you. I know you're looking at me. She's checking me out. So I don't know if you noticed, but I actually haven't posted as much as I usually do. Yeah. I'm focusing more on just my sponsors, and I can't do this without my sponsors.
Yeah, so. For sure.
So I like to put the focus on them. The focus isn't on me. I couldn't be where I am without them. So
yeah, that's so funny.
It is funny.
She's like a secret fan.
No, she's like a secret. Seek, dominate, destroy. And like I said, I respect that. I really respect that about her. Yeah. Seek, dominate, destroy.
Just
like,
kind of
I want to see her weakness.
Yeah. What is she gonna say?
Yeah.
What is this Master Random podcast is she gonna reveal to us? She's already talked about her honeymoon. She's gonna slip about her. Yeah. She's gonna slip about her game plan.
Yep.
What transitions?
Yeah. What?
No, that's great. I mean, it's cool to have seen you evolve, right? From our last conversation,
definitely
2 years ago.
Yeah, crazy.
And there is an evolution of how you sort of you're carrying yourself today as a fighter than back then. It's not that you were any less.
Yeah,
it's just that you can tell that you've grown.
Oh, definitely, man. I like what you said just now, and somebody else gave me that compliment yesterday, and that compliment goes so much further to me than saying, "Oh, Brogan, you're badass," or "Oh, Brogan, you're that." When somebody says, "I like how you carry yourself," and somebody told me that yesterday at Paradise. He's like, "You're gonna do great. I've seen all the hard work you put in, and I really like how you carry yourself." And to me, that's the kind of compliment I like and I honor, because like I said, a lot of people look up to me. A lot of kids at the gym look up to me, and even my teammates that are standing next to me in line, I look up to them like they look up to me, and we lean on each other like that. So for people to say, "I like how you carry yourself," that compliment rings true in my heart, and that makes
totally
me feel
genuine
like
compliment towards you.
That makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing.
It's it's apparent just sitting here talking to you. I mean, shit, we haven't spoken in 2 years, and
Yeah.
it's been over an hour we've been talking.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
just
oh my God. Yeah.
yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah, and so it's just to see and hear everything from even though that you were out of the game for 2 years,
Yeah.
and then you had your first fight, and now you're like, what, 6 months later you're coming into your next 7 months later you're coming into
Yeah.
your next fight.
Yeah.
And man,
Yeah.
come a long way.
I appreciate that. I put my heart into everything that I do, and so I appreciate that. I hope I'm evolving. I hope
Yeah.
I'm
Where do you see now? I know I asked this you the last time. Like, where do you see like women's MMA or even the growth of girls in jiu-jitsu here on Guam?
here on Guam. Like,
Yeah.
where do I see it going?
Yeah. I mean, are there more girls getting into the fighting sport or into jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, definitely. And even just in our gym, there's a lot more females at Purebred Academy. We just did an all girls picture, and I was like, man, that's so cool to see all of like these people are literally like my sisters. Like, and to see, like, I'll give you an example. My friend Alice, when she's my neighbor, when she was a white belt, I think I was a blue belt, and now she's purple, I'm brown. And of course, like I said, you get emotional when you see your own progression, but seeing everyone else too is really emotional. Like, I've been right next to her for all her ups and downs and all her struggles. Same with all the other girls on my team. And what's really cool is seeing the young ones, like Francesca Lizama and Larale Gandoli, like seeing them.
Yeah, I think Francesca is actually my relative. Chad's younger sister, right?
Yep. So she is her and Larale are one. They are amazing. And because they're so young in this sport, seeing where they're going to go is just like
potential champions.
So much potential in these chicks. And they're already, you know, they roll with me. And I'm, you know, like, you know, they roll with me and they're killing it. They're absolutely killing it. They don't rely on strength so much like I do. They rely on their technique. And then when that strength comes in and they get older and they mature, having that foundation, there's no limit for these girls. No limit.
Yeah. I think females in sports in general, you know, my sister's about to play collegiate rugby, Division 1
collegiate rugby. Congratulations. Yeah, dude, that is so awesome.
But just like from the span of that, you have basketball players now, and I'm pretty sure there's a softball player who's from Guam here, you know, and volleyball players. We're all over the place, dude, and now I think if we nurture it well when these kids are young, we'll be able to they'll be able to find more success in their sports and not have to sort of totally depend on maybe going to school, and they can actually do what they love. Right?
And they could do it wholeheartedly. With that foundation.
I feel like you are like the perfect example, because now you've turned fighting into sort of a career, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's
has that hit you yet?
I mean, yes. It's like I know that there's
not even sort of a career. I mean, you fight in a professional league.
Yeah, that's what I do.
On a contract.
Yep. It's all part of the process. Like, me stepping into this person that I'm becoming is all part of that personal growth. Like I was saying earlier, when you are put in a difficult position on the mat or in life, you're put into this difficult position, and somehow you come out of it. And if you take a lesson and you learn from that, then you realize that you can do it again. You can go to the next level. You can go to the next level, and it might be grueling. You might scratch and claw your way to the next step, but if you've done it before, you know you can do it again. And you have that like motivation, you know. They say you can only, Tony Robbins says this, I listen to him on the daily. He says you can only build off success. So even if you've got to do something like really small, like start your day with a walk or, you know, just to get the momentum going, you can only build off success. So those little small wins snowball into big wins on the mat and off the mat.
For sure.
And with your success, comes like a faith. Like I have a faith in myself, like a belief that I've done this before, I can do it again. And even if the situation is different, it's a different lesson that I need to learn, the game plan is the same. Stick to the course, fight through it, whatever it may be, mental struggle, physical, injury or anything like that. Stick to the plan, see that vision and set up a lot of habits that you can have something pulling you to that vision, that pull power. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Wait, what time is it? Because we got dinner reservation.
I know. We talked about a lot of good stuff, dude.
Yeah, we did.
Where are you guys going?
We were eating at Mezcla. We have a friend who's she's leaving off island. We've been hosting a bunch of people who are from off island and just making friends with them, going and hanging out with them, showing them what sort of Guam's all about. And
it's always
not like. Yeah, one of them we took around the island, but more so of like how we are as people, right? And so, yeah, she splits tomorrow morning, so we're just gonna go.
Where's she from?
Baltimore.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Washington.
She's from the East Coast.
Cool.
Yeah. So, but thank you. Where we at here? Put out anything you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Put out all the sponsors, girl. This is your time to plug them.
Okay. You know it. You know I'm going to. So, man, I gotta thank my sponsor, or I gotta thank my manager, Lloyd. Man, he is amazing. He's stepped up, and before where it used to be like I'm coming to him with questions and all kinds of things, now he's like full blown on the phone all day, like making sure my blood work is done, making sure my banner's done, making sure my fight gear is ready. So major shout out to Lloyd for being an awesome manager. And not only is he an awesome manager, like,
where's he based out of here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Lloyd is my teammate at Purebred.
Okay.
So I was just about to say, even after being on the phone all day, like business relationships, all kinds of stuff for me, then he shows up and lets me drill on him. And that is a team player right there, you know. It's like he's amazing. I can't thank him enough. I think Paradise for the amazing training center, and I've been trying my best to get over to the Tumon Fitness Center, which is pretty cool. They got a lot of cool new stuff over there. And to, of course, Steve-O, the man, like, been with me since day one. Since before I was a pro, since before anybody knew who I was, Steve-O believed in me and still does. And he knows what I'm truly capable of. He knows me as a person, as a martial artist, and he's always pushing me. Thank you to Fit For You Guam. Like I said, saved me so much time and stress. Thank you.
Rewind and you can hear all the gritty details.
It's amazing, you guys. Try it out. Like, even if you just, like, my recommendation would be just try it out for a week. It's very affordable. It comes out to like $8.50 a meal, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about anything. You just warm it up, and it's good. It's fresh. It's good stuff. And I gotta thank, of course, Mike's parents and Racer's Edge. They've been a supporter since day one too.
Yeah. Okay.
Fastest to be on Guam.
Now it's all tying together. I think we tied this before.
Yeah, we were saying Racer's Edge was right there.
Right. Yeah.
And now they're into Munning and are doing big things, and they've always been a supporter of mine. Tony, Anthony San Nicolas at Vitamin World. I don't promote Vitamin World so much because they're franchise and I don't have permission because they're not my official sponsor.
You want us to bleep it? Bleep, bleep.
No.
Bleep.
Nope.
Try say it. Try bleep.
Tony, who's the manager there at Vitamin World in Agana, he himself sponsors me.
Okay.
So he makes sure that I'm taken care of and that I get whatever. For this training camp, I was having difficulties getting like arrested sleep. He gave me, he directed me towards like magnesium. I was taking more magnesium in my diet, and that really helped me. So I would give a shout out to Impact Kennels. That's his business.
Brings in dogs.
Yeah, he does. It's awesome. And
what kind of dogs are you bringing?
Little pit bulls.
Okay, the bullies.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture of my girl. So I have a pit bull, Wasabi Girl, who we got she's flown in from Hawaii. Such a great dog. Yeah. This dog will full on spoon you. Nice. Like arms around you, She is the best cuddle bug ever. She's such a
Until
good
she
dog.
starts going.
no, that's Porky. That's my other dog, dude. Don't cuddle with him. So Sabi girl is my dog.
Sabi girl.
Sabi girl's my dog from we flew her in from Hawaii, but Tony introduced his dog, I think Ronan, to Wasabi, and they had puppies.
Oh, nice,
And
nice.
the
Love
deal-
at first sight. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. The deal was to give the puppies away, find them all good homes. But of course, we ended up keeping the girl from the litter, Lau Lau. And now she's my second little cuddle buddy. So now I've got a full-on dog pile on the couch. So shout out to Impact Kennels. Victoria Printing, Ryan over at Victoria Printing for doing my banner printing. He totally hooked that up. And then, Fukai and Mosas have been my day one sponsors as well. They've been on this journey with me since the very beginning. Them, Steve-O, and my team, my husband and my coach, are the people that have made this very possible. And then my one of my newer sponsors is actually I think you know my sister-in-law, Lisa Sanchez. She works at MCB.
No.
So she has a new business venture called the Connect Guam. You might have seen it on Instagram.
Yeah. Well, were they at that thing on Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Inspire
symposium.
Guam. Yeah.
Yeah, she was at the symposium.
Okay, I was looking at that. They had some Macs out, and I was actually browsing through the site.
Yeah, so that's a pretty awesome company coming up here on Guam. Like a lot of times, if you're looking for services or something on Guam, like let's say you need some blow up party for your kids' party.
Yes,
You
I
know
know
what I'm talking
Lisa.
about?
No, I know Lisa.
Oh, okay.
Now it's just her face kind of.
Everyone knows Lisa.
Yeah. Sorry, Lisa.
Everyone. I really scored with my I love my husband. I love him, but I scored with his family.
Yeah, they say you don't marry the guy, you marry the family.
Dude, I scored. His parents are so amazing, and his sister-in-law, my sister, dude, she is awesome. She's amazing, but she's launching this Connect Guam, and
I did. I took a look at the site. Yeah,
it's amazing. You guys gotta check out the Connect.
Yeah, so basically, what it's like, it connects different people, like trades, right?
Yeah, to services.
Right.
So whether it be like something for a party, you want to blow up house, or like
so it's like a better Craigslist.
Yes.
It's not so ghetto.
Yes.
God.
And I mean with Craigslist, or like what a lot of people do on Guam right now is they're on Facebook like, hey, does anybody know somebody who can fix my washing machine?
Yeah.
Does anybody know, stuff like that. And when you think about it, you're asking people on Facebook to come into your house when you don't know them.
Yeah.
That's where the Connect comes in. So, it's an affordable price way to advertise your business. And
God,
also,
you're a good plugger. You're a good plugger.
Like I said, this is my sister-in-law. Gotta hook her up. But I mean, when you think about it, it makes so much sense. You don't want some random person coming to your house.
Yes.
And especially if it's something for like family related, or if you're alone, this is something that Guam really needs. And she's a mastermind. She thought this all up on her own. It's been a lot of work, a lot of road launching this business and getting it going. So check it out, the Connect.
Hell yeah. What else we got here?
I think I'm.
You're done?
I think I'm done shouting. I love everyone. I love my sponsors. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Can't do it without you.
Dude, Brogan, you've been great.
Thank you.
Let's not wait 2 years before you come back on.
I'm gonna bring my husband next time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can. B knows a lot about cars, but
he's not much of a talker. But if you start talking about cars, it's a whole other business.
He becomes another person, right?
Yep.
Like transform.
Yeah. Ask me about my Subi.
Did you say Subaru?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thank you everybody for listening to the podcast. Thank you, Brian, for being here. Matt, you're in spirit. We love you. B loves you. Matt loves you. We'll see you later. Thank you, Brogan.
Thank you.
Brogan Walker-Sanchez on the podcast. Until next time, peace out.